Joe Biden is now officially the nation's president-elect as the Electoral College this week certified his final tally of 306 electoral votes. But President Trump, well, he's still holding on, he's still holding ground, refusing to concede and insisting that he was a victim of widespread voter fraud. Media analyst David Lamb always gets it right. Give me your take on it, David.
It does not appear that regardless of the court, whoever says anything, Trump is not giving up. I think that is clear. What is kind of interesting is some of the numbers we're getting a poll taking. So nationally, 62% of the United States believes the election is over. Okay.
Thank goodness.
Reasonable, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, that is 95% of Democrats, 67% of independents, yet less than a quarter of Republicans believe or trust the outcome of the election.
Yeah, this is the danger of tribalism, whether it's Democrat tribalism or whether it's Republican tribalism. Tribalism is destructive to democracy. We see it on this show all the time. We talk about Democrats who do wrong, and oh my God, you would think that we have created some type of felony right in front of a camera because of the tribalism. It's stupidity.
Yeah.
It's just absolute, utter stupidity on both sides.
No doubt.
I'd like to show you some comments sometimes from the Democrat tribe, just like the Republican tribe. So there's so much talk of Trump posturing for a 2024 run. In the media business, we're hoping he does.
Yeah.
It's great material. Yeah. What's your take on it?
Well, he's raising hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, his campaign and a PAC that he has set up is raising a ton of money to contest the election. They're not spending any of that yet, but they're raising a bunch of it. A poll taken of do you want Trump to run again? Nationally, no. Okay, 60% plus do not want Trump to run again, but 76% of Republicans believe that he will run in 2024. And if he does, a poll taken so these are just Republicans. All right, who would you vote for in 2024? Trump does the best. That's no surprise. 52%. Pence, though, surprisingly, he's second with 45%, followed by Ted Cruz, Don Jr., Nikki Haley. I wonder if that is why Mike Pence is relatively quiet right now and through this process.
But look, with Pence, I've always wanted to put a mirror under his nose and see if there's condensation. Because sometimes I wonder, is the guy alive?
Yeah.
Now, whether he can pull, maybe he can pull on something that I'm not seeing. Ted Cruz probably is going to be the voice of the next run, whether he wins or not. He's going to be the person that sets those standards. But, you know, we're hoping Trump's going to win. There's another part of this, though.
Okay.
Trump is raising money for something else. He understands his fights with the media.
Right.
He hates the media.
He does.
He wants to create his own media infrastructure.
Right.
My prediction is Donald Jr., as you know, is already out raising money for this.
He is.
That's going to be what he concentrates on in the next 4 years. That's
so you think Don Sr. concentrates on Don Jr. and his candidacy?
Yes. And they do that by building a media empire, much like Fox. Is there anyone on the GOP side who can make a run that you feel? You say Pence is the guy.
Pence at this point is, but a lot's going to happen between now and then. And as mercurial, to be gracious, as Trump is, Pence can easily get in the Trump doghouse. And what happens whenever Pence does not lap it up as much as Trump wants?
Upsets anything Trump has to say. Trump goes crazy and tries to deconstruct him. That's your point.
Yeah, I think that's the point. And to your point, if Don Jr. is their play, and Pence stands in the way, they're going to target him.
Don Jr. doesn't have a chance in hell. Okay, he's a terrible candidate, but what he is he's the lead to build this new media empire. I really think that's what you're going to see in the next 4 years. He's raising serious money,
he is.
hundreds of millions of dollars already to build this media empire. And when he does it, you're going to see that divide in America get even stronger. You know, President-elect Biden he's facing a very divided nation. Yeah. You know, independents, and not only that, he's such a ho-hum kind of president. I mean, people aren't excited about Biden. They've never been excited. He's there because he hung around long enough, and people understand that. So what does he do to reunite the country?
It's a challenge. As we have said quite a bit, this whole election had, to be blunt, very little to do with Joe Biden. It was a referendum on Donald Trump,
Right.
and that fueled the folks who supported him, but it also fueled those who could not stand Donald Trump. And the question is, how is he handling the transition? 60% of the nation believe he is handling it well, but 80% of Republicans do not consider Joe Biden the legitimate president of the United States.
Okay, here's the problem the Republicans have. They say he's not forceful enough.
Right.
He won't fight hard enough on issues like immigration or world trade.
Right.
That we're going to see the same thing we would have seen with Hillary Clinton. We're going to see NAFTA on steroids. We're going to see TPP. We're going to see all of those globalization issues resurface. And that's why corporate America wanted him. He's the guy. Well, you know, you and I do media all the time.
We do.
We know these stories. But the interesting thing is, that is actually filtering out to the American public in their attitude about Joe Biden. It was part of the problem he had. He just couldn't get anybody excited. So I think he's got a tough job. I think it's people around him that are going to make the biggest difference.
Agree. Yeah, and look at who he is surrounding himself with. Look at how he is distancing in terms of the messaging. Joe Biden is a political animal, is what he is. He has been in politics. He eats, drinks, bleeds it. He is a political animal, and he is all about how to get votes and how to cobble together some sort of constituency.
47 years of that, and then you have to ask, what did he do in those 47 years?
Yeah.
We got to expect more from him as president.
We do.